virtual. Yeah, I mean, we support VM setups. It's actually one of the ways that you can do an initial backup seed for somebody is you just create a VM of their home machine, and then load it up on a machine that's dedicated that has a little more horses behind it, better bandwidth, and then you can run the backup from that point and then go back to the client when it's done. That way you don't affect their productivity, or you can just get the backup done faster. Good question. I deal primarily in residential customers, so they have standard DSL cable speeds, standard machines. How long do you think it would take an average person to download 1 gig? More importantly is upload 1 gig, because in residential cases, your upload speed is often much slower than your download. It's not very often you get paired up. I know with Fios services, you're going to have better upload speed than with a lot of DSL cable providers. But typically, if you have about 1 meg up and down, it means you're going to transfer probably between 600 and 700 kilobits per second, which means that you can probably, with a decently healthy machine that's not spiking on memory already, you probably get about 1 gig an hour uploaded, backed up. As far as downloading, same type of thing. You're downloading over SSL, and you have to decompress. So you can't calculate based on strict numbers just on the transfer rate. Really, the best way to figure it out is when you'll find out shortly after you run it. Either you'll be faster or slower. But on average, I find that if you're transferring at about 700 kilobits per second, decently healthy machine, you're about an hour per gig. If the user leaves Outlook open, is SOS able to back up the PST file? You bet. We got open file support, so it'll just take your PST and push it off-site, no problem. Another question, is this software similar or comparable to Iron Mountain? Iron Mountain is primarily a hardware-based solution, and they've added online backup because the market forced them into it, but it's really, from what I find from our vendors, and of course what I do is, if people have Iron Mountain in place, it doesn't mean that they won't have SOS in place, because Iron Mountain is they have historical systems of data management, but most of it's based around physical data management. So I have a lot of people who have done both or who have switched over, because Iron Mountain is quite expensive, as I recall as well. A question, do you support Android OS? We do not currently have an application for the Android, but through the mobile portal, just m.sosonlinebackup.com, you can recover data from any mobile browser. A question, do you support Mac? Mac support, actually, we're releasing a beta this coming week, so we're very excited to see how Mac version 1 works out. Right now, it's looking pretty good. We'll see how that progresses. So we're excited to be announcing a Mac beta just in the next week. No Linux support right now. Oh, Jason, you have some updated information. Who has a user-level backup app? Oh yeah, no, they definitely do. I find that they canceled their storage service. They still have their backup application. What I was saying is that most of the partners that I've spoken with, and most of the techs I've spoken with, they prefer our user level online backup solution over what Iron Mountain provides, not only because of the cost difference, but because of the performance, and that really Iron Mountain, their specialty is in physical data management. Not that they don't have an online backup. They bought an online backup provider years ago. I think they've actually purchased 2, and they use that to get in the market, definitely. But it's not their main focus of business. Their main focus is physical data management, establishment where ours is, online backup. Good question. Does SOS offer a hardware appliance option for initial copy backup? You know, we don't currently offer any type of hardware appliance. We're not in the hardware game, but we have been looking at the add-in for Exchange, SQL, bare metal will most likely include some sort of hardware appliance for better performance. So much like, you know, Zenith Infotech, who has a hardware-based system, then they have an online backup bolted on. Same type of thing as Iron Mountain. I have a lot of people who use Iron Mountain's hardware appliance for bare metal and the image backups, and then they use our system for the online backup. All right, I'm going to go into the partnership model, and we'll pick up questions in a little bit. We're going a little over time. So again, it's rebranded. So, and it's a rebranded high-margin system. So it becomes a standard part of your offering. And when you standardize offerings, you sell more of them because people are really comfortable with standards. As far as how we support, you have full advantage of our technology. So there is no service difference between an SOS customer or a partner's end user. The service is exactly the same. Again, our mainstay is the partner program. Delivery and support, of course, we have offices all over the world. The offices, we were founded in Australia. We still have an office out in Melbourne. We have an office in Kiev. We have an office in Chennai, offices in the UK, and we have data centers corresponding with those as well. And then we have 5 data centers here in the United States that we use for backup. We have 1 in Canada, and we're also looking at expanding into Central and Latin America. So we have one of the biggest infrastructures when it comes to data centers used for backup in the market. And that goes in part with security needs as well as just stability in the market. So part of the program, you get technical support. We do a tech and admin training, so you know how to, the basic architecture of the software and how to react to it when you're on site, getting things into play. We also do a sales training, which is more in depth of not only why providing this is going to help you manage services, but how specifically you put this against a managed service package. And then on a tactical level, how is this service that really differentiate itself across the market in a little more detail than what we've gone through today. The ROI, I'll leave to our partner specialists. You can give them a call after this when you give them your key to enter the drawing for the Kindle. They'll be able to go through an ROI that's specific to you because we consider all of our partners different, and we like to have that strategic relationship with them and understand what you personally can expect in entering this type of relationship. So SOS is unique in that we really take the rebranded wholesale program as a direct mode of how we do business. We have, it says we power 300 plus online backup providers. That's really a dated figure. We actually went from 300 to 600 after the first 6 months of this program being launched, and now we are well above 700-800 partners that we have backup for. So we have quite a reach across the market, and we're looking forward to seeing that growth really take off as we add the Mac platform support as well as some of our other products and increase the management that we have. So we have I got some more questions here. I'm going to take them after we get through this a little bit. So the partner solution, again, the infrastructure, product, and software is going to be rebranded. If you want to incorporate billing rather than just give you APIs that you would then have to find some people to develop for you, or maybe you spend time trying to do it even though you're not a full-time developer, we actually have a web integration package, which is a really nice ready-to-go website that you just plug in your information from PayPal Pro or Authorize.net. Those are the two merchant systems and gateways that we support. And then you can have customer-facing signups where you're collecting money upon the sign-up. It also has a full built-in CMS, so content management system, so that you can have a online backup website linked between your main site. And it really is a terrific way of getting into the market. What we found was most partners were spending about 2 to 3 months getting something like this together. And still what we've built now and made it something that we can provide to partners for a very affordable rate is much more in-depth. It includes a mailer at some levels, so you can do mass HTML email campaigns, different subscription services for new users, trial users, a support ticketing system. It really is quite nice. Marketing aspect, of course, we have the Partner Resource Center that has different pieces of collateral that you can look through, and there are studies that we've used for our collateral. There are email templates that we use for campaigns that you can take as well. There are documents that we've written, documents that we reference, so it's a really nice situation. And we have weekly trainings available. There are actually 4 trainings available every week that cover administrative aspects of the system, technical and best practices, as well as sales strategy for all the systems that we have. So we try to make this, and they're all live, so we try to make this as involving as possible. So who do our partners typically look like? Our partners are typically new to or in the middle of entering the managed service market. We have a lot of computer repair guys with actual retail shops, data recovery specific businesses, some of those. We have a lot of ISPs, even web designers and web hosts provide this, because if you're hosting somebody's website, why not have your name behind a backup that they're providing? It's a very complementary service, and it creates a really nice segue. Generally, the verticals that we're very powerful in are the ones that have high security needs. So financial services, legal services, government, education, medical care, and healthcare. And it's very nice, and we go over this with the Success with SOS sales training, is doing market-specific campaigns or market-specific packages for not just backup solutions, but for managed services in general. And when you get industry-specific standards, that's when you can really see some business take off. Again, people really like standards. Having an a la carte list of services is very confusing and difficult to somebody who's not savvy to what they need. So this not only puts you in a position to create better services, but also saves you time and gets you customers that are easier to work with, not the ones who are telling you that, no, they don't really want that full backup solution that you're recommending, and then when they lose data, it's all your fault anyways. So it's a really maturing leap in the industry that we've seen of going to this managed service providing market, and our service falls in line perfectly with that. So here's an example, MSC offering related to copiers and data management, but no online backup. We actually did have a guy up in Sacramento, Sacramento, California, where he was working with a lot of legal firms and doing a lot of physical media management, much like Iron Mountain does. And he came to us, and he saw that physical media management was really taking a dive, and that he needed to get an online backup game. So he came in with us, and now he's been doing terrifically. And it actually helped him himself at one point that he had a accidental deletion of an entire server's worth of data, and fortunately, the step before that was to back it up all off-site. So a lot of benefit about coming on with a partner. Our partner program is the brand awareness. It's like when you go to any type of promotion for a restaurant or bar and a brewery or a microbrew, and they send you home with glasses with their logos on it, or